I'm kind of showing these sticks in the order that they were made. And I try to leave a lot of the natural growth on the sticks and make them still comfortable to my hand. This is the root ball. These were roots or suckers that took off. They were underground and appeared when I dug up the root. Sanpitch oak root ball, and the cattails and the shamrock.
So there's another wood that you make them out of. What's the other wood? You do oak and...
I did one out of hawthorn. Okay, this one really shows the root surface. Show the end of it. It's really got a unique, pretty end on it. Doesn't look comfortable, but it's very comfortable in my hand. When I dig these sticks up, the stick is always dead and there's a little bit of life left in the root. And so it's a concern that as that root dries out, it'll crack. And that's always a worry. And this one started a little crack. A lot of them do. And so it spends its night in a bath of oil until it's fully cured or dried. Just another one that shows cracks in it. And sometimes I damage them when I'm digging them up because they're not that easy to dig up. They have lots of roots that go off in lots of different directions. This lighter colored bark here was blood red when it was dug up, and it still has some of its redness. It'll eventually turn dark brown like the rest of the stick when it's totally cured. I just saw this as a straight stick, and so I dug it up, and it of course was a monster, and I knew it was going to be from the beginning. It's just for fun. But if that damn bear comes by, I'll kill him with it. It's really got some beautiful grain on the top. This one's unique because it had so many roots growing out of it. It was truly a root ball. And I've left the base of those roots showing. And it left a huge handle that looks uncomfortable. And yet for my hand, when I take a hold of it, it seems like there's a place for every finger. And it fits nicely. The stick was older and deader. And the underbark was darker colored. And I just left it as dark as I could, with the idea that it looked old and ancient. And this is another one that was quite old and quite dead when I dug it up. And it's still in the process of being worked on. There was a description of how to make a shillelagh by an Irishman from 1800, and I've kind of followed his directions in this. It's rough. It was damaged in the digging. I've left it rough and taken the minimum out of it. The idea is this will just look like an antique. It's not something that I'll probably give away. I'll just keep it for the novelty that it is. It still shows some of the pink of the live underbark that'll eventually turn brown. in his description on how to make a shillelagh, he suggested a section of gun barrel made a nice furl for the bottom. And so that's the appearance of this, though this is just a 3/8 inch socket. And this is just the last one I've done. Not any real difference than the rest. They all have their own unique look. I leave them rough looking. I don't try to make them into fine furniture. I can't make them straight. I just go with the character that they have and the natural appeal that they have. And I write Sanpitch oak rootball on all of them. That's the wording that I've ended up with, good or bad. I pretend that they are Shillelagh lookalikes, but I don't know. I hope that doesn't offend the Irishmen.